This is the Petsafe Eat Well 5-meal pet feeder. I picked these up at PetSmart. I also ordered one on Amazon just to test it out. Then I got them on sale at PetSmart. Actually, I was able to get them to price match a Petco price. So most of the time PetSmart does price match if you go there and if you ask them to price match another store. So basically what this does is it lets you program meal times or treats daily. This is an automatic 5-meal pet feeder. It has 5 1-cup portion control sections, easy digital program display, dishwasher safe food tray, and a tip-proof base. And it says it works for all size pets. And then here's a picture of it on the back. It says removable and dishwasher safe tray for easy cleaning for use with dry food only. Portion controlled tray promotes good health and eliminates overeating. A fresh meal is available in the first tray immediately, then will rotate up to 4 more set times before needing to refill feeder. AM and PM settings for multiple meals a day. Easy programmable digital screen with accurate timings. Automatic program will set a single time for 4 consecutive days. It says, do you want to ensure your pet is fed on time without having to worry? The Petsafe 5-meal pet feeder is a simple way to maintain your pet's health and feeding routine. Easily programs 5 meal times so you can spend more time with your pet and less time worrying about meals. So here are the 3 automatic pet feeders that I have. It is now Saturday morning and I'm going to be away for the rest of the weekend. So I want to set these up with their dinner tonight, their breakfast tomorrow, and their dinner tomorrow also. And here's what they look like when you open the cover. So you have this tray, which is removable, and there's a gear under the tray which rotates the tray at the desired times. And up here is the section where you program the feeders. Let me show you how to program this feeder. The current time is 11:45 a.m. as displayed. So we're going to hit time, then we're going to hit the up arrow. And that is going to take us to the first feeding. And if you could read that, it says the first feeding that is programmed is at 7 p.m. and you'll see the number 1 down here. That means it's the first feeding. So that would be dinner tonight. Now I want to program a second feeding, so I'm going to hit the up arrow, and now there's no time displayed and it says 2. So we're going to set this for, let's set it for 7 a.m. tomorrow, and that's when they'll eat their breakfast. So I'm going to hit the check, and you see the hours blinking. So then I'm just going to cycle up. It starts in the AM, and I'll cycle to 7 a.m. with the up arrow. Then I'm going to hit clock, and that sets it. So if we want to check to see what was set, we hit clock and we hit the up arrow, and we'll see the first feeding is at 7 p.m. and the second feeding is at 7 a.m. and we'll hit clock again, and then that will be set. And what it does is it repeats those feeding times every day. So I set it for 7 p.m. tonight for dinner, 7 a.m. tomorrow for breakfast, but it will also feed them again at 7 p.m. tomorrow for dinner, and then the following day at 7 a.m. It will keep feeding every day at those times until you program it and tell it not to. Okay, so here's the second one. Let's program this one. We'll hit time, arrow up, and we'll hit the check mark, and we'll set this one for the exact same. We'll set it for 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. We'll just check that. 7 p.m., 7 a.m. Now, it doesn't matter what order you put the feedings in. Like, I could put the first feeding for 7 a.m., the second feeding for 7 p.m., and it will still feed them dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow, dinner the next day. It doesn't go by what is 1, 2, 3, or 4. It really just goes by the time that each feeding is scheduled for. Okay, and let's do the third one. So you can see once you get used to it how quick and easy it is to schedule these feedings. Okay, so when you want to fill the feeder, this section is the currently open section. So whatever you put in here would be whatever they're currently eating. So I don't want them to get fed until 7 p.m. So I'm going to put dinner in here, and then this one would be breakfast the following day. This one would be dinner the following day. Now they've been on a diet of Nature's Variety Instinct raw cat food, and it comes in these frozen nuggets. So I'm actually going to fill this with frozen nuggets, and by the time 7 p.m. rolls around, they'll be nice and defrosted, and the cats will have a fresh meal. So this is what it looks like with their dinner in these trays. It's about a half cup of this frozen food for each of them. And now I'm going to put their breakfast in. So here's what their breakfast looks like. The only difference is I add 2 additional ice cubes to it. I feel like the ice cubes help keep it cooler longer, and it also adds some additional liquid to it. It makes like a nice meaty broth in there, which they like to lick up. And so here are the feeders with tonight's dinner, which will be nice and defrosted by the time they eat it. And also tomorrow's breakfast, which will also be defrosted. It will have a nice meaty broth because of the ice cubes, and it is perfectly safe because the pet food company that makes this frozen food says you could leave it out at room temperature easily up to 24 hours, and the cats are not going to get sick from it. So this is the 3rd meal that I have scheduled for tomorrow's dinner. This is the Nature's Variety Instinct dry cat food chicken formula, and on top those are their freeze-dried raw nuggets. So they're pretty much these frozen raw nuggets, only they've been freeze-dried and the cats love them. So although I do leave dry food out for them in another feeder, I'm just going to give them some additional dry and some of these freeze-dried nuggets. And this is what the feeders look like programmed for the rest of the weekend. Tonight's dinner, tomorrow's breakfast, and tomorrow's dinner. Now the other tip that I have with these feeders is that when you close them, here's like a little latch. You just want to kind of tug on that and make sure they are actually closed. That way they will function properly. One time I set these feeders up and one of them, I don't know, it wasn't latched correctly or something, and it actually did not dispense correctly. But the rest of the time, these have worked perfectly. And then next to those feeders, there is a large container of water and a container of additional dry food. They do like to munch on the dry food, and I just feel like it keeps them calmer and in a better mood than when I take the dry food away. I feel like they get a little too rambunctious. And this is also the Nature's Variety Instinct dry cat food. It doesn't have any grains in it. There's no gluten. I really like the ingredients of it. That's why I'm happy to put it out. I had to get them off of your pretty much like supermarket dry food because when I was away for 3 weeks, and that's pretty much all they ate, that's when they really got chubby. And since they've been on better food, they've definitely been slimming down a bit.